Hi friends, I hope you're all doing well and that you're safe where you are and that things are going okay for you. I was feeling inspired to share today about my Easter experiences. Today was the first the day of the online experience that's happening for the next 4 days, and unfortunately it's sold out, so if you're not there, I'm sorry. Hopefully you can make it next time. But ISTA is an International School of Temple Arts, and you can Google more to find out about them, but they are focused on shamanism, spirituality, and sacred sexuality and authentic connection, relating. So they have these in-person experiences that are about a week long, and I did a level 1 in Peru with about 35 people in the Sacred Valley, and it was completely magic this past December. And for me, I've been really public about my experience in my early and mid-20s around sexual assault and being raped and emotional abuse, and a lot of that also had to do with sexual manipulation. And so for me, going to ISTA in December really felt like a reclaiming, like a final sort of, shamanic path is cyclical, so everything's going to come back around. But for now, I felt like it was really like the bookend to a lot of years of really deep personal work, to the point where I could feel myself moving away from that experience impacting me at this point in time, in the way that I'm relating with people. And I know it'll continue to move through probably for the rest of my life, but it was a really empowering experience to be in that container with 35 people and to be able to feel free and liberated and safe and sexy and embodied. And I could feel myself fully integrated, like my sexual energy integrated with my physical body and really embodying my power. It was fucking magic. It was completely magical. And some of the major lessons that I learned about myself through that experience, because it's highs, it's lows, it's a lot of looking at your past patterns and your families of origin, and looking at how you perceive sexuality, how you learn to perceive sexuality growing up, and then how that impacts you now, and what are some tools you can have so that you can shift that, so that you can actually show up and be present for the energy that's showing up in your life, and so that you can feel empowered and embodied to actually experience and play with that energy and be in connection, like real connection, not just like running a program of first you do this and then you do this and then you do this, and because that's what society dictates. But really looking at, like, what do I want, and what does this person want from me, and how do we communicate about that, and how do we make sure that we're in integrity about that and the way that we're sharing our energies. And it's so beautiful. So some of the major turning points for me during that experience, one of them was I learned that I get to a certain point in intimacy with partners, and in the past that would mean emotional intimacy. So I would get to a certain point, like I could be physically open, and then I would get to a certain point where we were emotionally intimate with each other, and then I would start to shut down a little bit physically. So being able to see that and witness that, because in this group of 35 people, you're really intimate, like emotionally intimate, and with some people physically intimate. And in other ways, like, you're just connecting at that level with the whole group. And so I got to see, like, one night I left the group activity, I left it because I was tired. And then I went home and I swiped on Tinder, which is, don't tell anyone, which is like completely ridiculous because I'm at a retreat center. I'm not going anywhere. Nor is there Wi-Fi in my room that's worth even talking about. So like it's taking effort to like actually do that. And I could have like connected with people in person, but I wanted something safer. I wanted something that felt a little less vulnerable. I wanted something that was like people who didn't quite know me so well, who weren't maybe so like it didn't have so many insights into my vulnerabilities and my shadows. And I caught myself, and my God, did I have a good laugh. But then in the morning, I owned it to the circle that's the edge that I was coming up against. And what was powerful about that, because I stood up in the circle and I immediately started bawling, and I was like, oh, whoa, I didn't know that energy was there. And so being able to own that in the group and to say, hey, I'm about to withdraw physically from all of you. Like, I'm going to hide my body. I'm going to hide everything. Like, I'm just going to leave spaces. But I'm not going to do that because that's what I used to do. But today I'm going to show up. And so I want you all to keep showing up with me. So, like, please, hug me. Like, let's be in community together. Like, cuddle with me, please. And it was so beautiful to be able to witness myself in that moment, and then also to make a different decision, and then to be witnessed by 35 beautiful, beautiful humans. It was incredible. And then I also got to see, we do something called shadow chasing. And so you look at your patterns that are destructive to you and you chase them down with love and acceptance. And it's, it's a lifelong process. But I got to see how my dynamics are different in groups than they are individually. Because individually, I can be very direct. I can ask for what I need. I can ask for what I'm looking for and what I want, and I can tell you if it's not what I want. But in a group dynamic, I learned that I much preferred to run a seduction program, which is I'm going to be coy, and I'm not going to show you that I'm interested. In fact, I might actually ignore you completely. I'm definitely not going to make eye contact with you. And if you try to approach me, I might just run away. So getting to see that and to be like, oh, fuck, that's extremely destructive. And it makes sense why in college I was always interested in the visitors, the guys who were just there to see their friends for the weekend, or the guys who lived in the town 20, 30 minutes away. And even in high school, I've had that pattern for a long time because it just feels too exposed, a little too vulnerable. I want you to know me, but not that much. And so being able to see how that, how destructive that is, and how the story is oh, then I'm gonna magically capture their attention, which is total bullshit. Oh, yeah. So it also makes sense to me why I appreciate dating apps, is because you're usually meeting people one-to-one and you don't have to interact with them in a group setting, because I've always been awkward as fuck in group settings. So I'm learning. I learned a lot, actually, even just by seeing myself doing that. Yeah. So it really, there were triggered moments, there were happy moments, there were moments of pure bliss where I felt it doesn't get any better than this. I just saw myself from a younger me's perspective, and damn, I have done a lot of work, and I was feeling really good. So, and I was able to access platonic intimacy in new ways, and sensual energy in new ways, and sexual energy in new ways. And it was just completely magic. And I didn't have sex with anyone. It wasn't about that for me. It was running energy in different ways and really showing up and being present with people and playing. Oh my God, let's make this fun, right? We have these amazing bodies. Let's use them. They're so much fun. And feeling that integration. So it was really powerful for me. And yeah, so anyway, definitely if you're interested, check Ista out. Feel free to reach out to me if you want. But I mostly just wanted to record my experiences for myself. So if you watch, that's bonus. And I hope you gain something from it. And if not, that's okay too. I love you all so much. I have no beautiful views to show you as it's already nighttime, but maybe tomorrow or the next day. All right, much love. Be well, stay home, be safe. Ciao.